Okay, another update, and this time I'm talking. It's a little bit easier than typing all those things. So yeah, what have I done since last time? I have added audio for the tank and its engine noises, and got that hooked up so that the pitch modifies. I do need to tweak it. It goes a little bit too low at times, so I want to modify that, but it seems to work. I've worked on some particle systems for shooting the tank turret. Perfect timing. I might go back and work on those more, but I was just kind of distracting myself from coding by doing some artwork. I did quite a lot of that this time. I worked on some particle systems for when the tank shell hits the ground and the dirt kicks up in the ground, in the air, and all that kind of stuff. And I also worked on setting up some geometry for when a tank dies and gets taken out of the game, so little kind of smouldering wreck of a tank, and I worked on that, which is cool. I also came up with the name. Officially, the name of the game will now be TNKS. Yeah, TNKS, mainly because all of the funny puns for tank games had already been taken, basically. And yes, I've also made it so that the multiplayer works with the right camera system, which was quite a headache, to be honest. Nothing seemed to be working for me at all today for some reason. My coding brain was elsewhere, I guess. And yeah, so it took a long time, and it was pretty frustrating to get set up, but it's working now, and I managed to get this first test tonight with it actually working multiplayer with someone else. So this is a guy from the rock paper shotgun community. It's one of the guys I play quite a bit of Armour with, and Armour 2, and yeah, one of the ARPS people. Good bunch of guys. If you play Armour 2, you might want to join the community. Anyway, I digress. So he joined in, and we were just trying to get it working and whatnot. So I actually ended up recording quite a bit of footage, so much so that my hard drive started freaking out. And this is I haven't yet worked on the shooting system at all, so you can literally just shoot constantly. And this is what what he's doing right now, which is a little bit funny, but yeah, a glaring reminder of something I need to fix. But yeah, it seems to be running quite well, I think. And at this point as well, he actually called me over voice chat so that we could talk while testing stuff. So I don't know, maybe I'll switch over to some of that. Or maybe I won't, I don't know. Oh yeah. Yeah, the problem with this, I'll cut this down later. The problem with this is the fact that my own voice wasn't being recorded and only his, so unfortunately I'll mute out the rest of the audio so that it can be heard. But yeah, it's getting there, I think. This is my first kind of chance to really see it in the perspective that I kind of wanted to see it in, if you know what I mean. So you driving around in a little tank with this perspective, and then other people that are being also controlled driving around as well. And it's kind of just how I was hoping it would turn out. Well, obviously there's a lot of bugs and a lot of stuff that needs fixing, but I'm pretty pleased with how things have gone. And yeah, this is a historic moment right now, I guess, in terms of the first technically proper playing of the game with only two people, but yeah. I'm quite pleased with this terrain as well. It's got a little bit of distance to it, and it really adds a big sense of scale. It's pretty cool. It does seem a little bit bare, at least for these tiny tanks. They need some kind of city or something. I don't know. Have to work it out. But yeah, good stuff really. I'm just going to let this footage roll, I think, because it's I ended up taking so much because I was just, you know, sat talking here while testing, and then eventually I got an error that pops up saying that I'm running out of hard drive space. But tank breakdancing, always good. So yeah, I've still got a fair way to go, I think. I mean, I've got 10 days left now, right, from here, and I think the problem that I had is that when I went into this, I did not have an idea of what the game was that I was going to produce. It was literally this idea of, I want to play around with this thought I've had about having these tanks, and then the way I've done the tank tracks, I had that kind of idea rattling around in my head. So I just kind of ran with that and saw where, you know, discovered where it went. And I think this kind of exploratory way of developing games is fun, but it's also pretty tough as well. Like the network implementation and that kind of stuff, I just dived into that thinking, yeah, why not, you know? And it's been great. Like, I've learned a huge amount from it. This is the first network multiplayer game I've set up in Unity, actually, so it's nice to, you know, I've learned a huge amount, that's for sure. I think there's certainly a place for like experimenting like this, but the inherent problem, at least I found, is that you end up with something that you didn't realise is going to kind of cause a lot of problems down the line in the future. And also, it can also make it so that deadlines and things like that are very hard to estimate. So I think, as a result, although the game may get finished to some extent by the end of January, I think it's most likely that the state that it'll be in, it'll be very basic. You'll be able to log into a game, shoot some stuff, and that's about it. That being said, I've got a great, you know, basis now to continue building on and continue making the game. So it's definitely been worth it from that sense, which is awesome. And also, I've got this idea for a project that I'll begin in February, for my February one game a month. And I know it may not end up being a one game a month thing, but I like this whole concept, because it means now that I'll be spending a lot of my time focusing on the different, you know, approaches that I'm taking and learning from them. So it's really cool. So my next approach for the next game is going to be a lot more focused. I've got a really focused game design. So it's all about implementation, and it's going to be a multiplayer game, and it's going to be a turn-based simultaneous execution game. So there you go. And yeah, I'll no doubt continue doing updates for that one as well. But I've gone on for ages and I've run out of footage, so I might call it a night. But yeah, thanks for watching the updates as well. I really appreciate it, and see you around.